So just doing some gratitudes before I hit the road. Did my little prayer. I will share one of my favorite prayers, but it is a prayer that, over time with experience that I've created for myself. And so my prayer is very simple. It is, dear God, creator of all. I do say Heavenly Father and Holy Mother, because I do feel like God is all things. And so God is the mother and the father and the offspring. So literally, God is all things, from one spectrum to another spectrum, and all the things in between that. So endless, limitless, omnipotent. But anyway, back to my little prayer. So I always start prayer off with, God, creator of all, Heavenly Father, Holy Mother. Sometimes I add all elements, because sometimes we only talk about the Holy Spirit, but there's so many elements at play, and you can see that in your own existence and the existence around you. So I include all. So all holy elements, holy fire, Holy Spirit, holy water, holy, everything. It's not just the elements, the four that they taught us. So that's just how sometimes I pray. I'm not saying that you have to pray like this. I'm just sharing some of me with you. So the prayer is literally, dear God, creator of all, Heavenly Father, Holy Mother, I ask that you allow me to rule, move, step, be in love and peace, and that you give me the strength, the wisdom, and the know-how, and also the application to do what is best for myself and all others in any given situation or scenario. And so that is a prayer I pray to cover myself through the day. It covers all grounds for me. So does that mean that I don't have hiccups? No, but I'm literally thankful and grateful, and that's another thing I lead into after I do that prayer, is what I'm thankful and grateful for. So I'm asking for something. I need to also be aware of what's already occurring and what I'm grateful for. Shit, I'm even grateful for the place that I stay in, even though I don't want to be there. So, I don't want to be there, but I am also grateful that I have a roof over my head. I'm grateful that, there are certain comforts provided. So I just do, it depends on how I'm feeling that day, of how long the list of gratitudes is, how big. The gratitudes I was just doing just now were, I was grateful for getting up this morning and starting my day with myself and God, and literally wanting that to be a lifestyle change. And so that's something I want to do every day. And the way that I started my day was just, some people call it prayer, meditation. I don't care what you call it. It was just me, God, myself. I feel like in the past, I would start my day with God. Surely I would literally acknowledge, thank you, God, I'm awake, or, talk to myself. However, I didn't have that, even though I'm not even feeling good today, I didn't have that weight over me where I woke up right at the time that I had to start and do something. And so that's what I was giving thanks for, is that I got to start the day with God and myself, and instead of the actual task at hand. And that I can tell today, literally, that has to be a way that I have to live my life from now on. So if I have something that I do have to get to or do, I need to wake up at least a couple of hours earlier than that and just be with myself in the ways that is conducive for me. And so that was beautiful for me. I was thankful, because usually I'm just that person that literally will wake up. I'll give myself enough time to wake up, get ready, do the hygiene stuff, and all right, smack the pavement. And I feel like it is a better experience if I feed myself, with God, first, and then do the things like, hygiene, eat, all that stuff. It just, I don't know, it made for a better experience of life for me today. So I was thankful for that. And it was a whole other slew of things that I'm thankful for. So I don't know, I'm just there today, and praying that actually be something I do every day. So getting there, subtle changes turn into big changes. Just like the snowball effect can be detrimental, the snowball effect is actually powerful for good things. So if you have been smelling steady, if you have been climbing that mountain and taking it one step at a time, just know you will get to the peak of that mountain. You will get to where you need to be. So a lot of times we think consistency always means just showing up every day the same way. But sometimes at bare minimum, consistency could be you just showing up. Every day. And it don't even have to be the same way. But it's like, here again, you woke up again. What I say, Groundhog Day with a little bit of flavor, a little bit of change. So literally, showing up. That's the bare minimum of consistency. If you got that, then keep going, keep showing up for yourself. I'm thankful and grateful that I ain't where I was 2 years ago. I'm thankful and grateful for that reset. No matter how wild it got, no matter how bad I look, no matter how none of that shit look, I don't care. And I do care. That was another revelation I had last night. I think it was last night or early this morning. Because I think I took a shower real late last night. So I had this revelation that literally, I went through these cycles of phases of where I cared too much, and where I didn't give a fuck at all. Not giving a fuck, just crash out mentality, just ready to give up every fucking thing, let it all go to waste. I went through those phases, and now I feel like I'm getting to live a phase where it's not that I don't give a fuck at all. Like, I ain't got no fucks to give. And it's not like I'm caring too much where I'm just spilling out all of me. But it's really on some, I am learning what to give my cares to, like what to invest my cares in. And it's a process. I'm learning it. I'm learning that balance and that in between and that stability for myself on so many levels and realms of existence, and I'm grateful for that. I'm stabilizing in ways that like I used to dream of. I used to think wasn't possible at a certain point because it never manifested, and it just wasn't my time yet. So, and I still have days where I feel like, oh my gosh, I got so much growth, but I still have days where like I still have days where I literally feel like doom and gloom and these shifts, and I swear to you, all I do is break through them. I'll be honest, I don't feel good today, and I'm not just talking about physically. Today I am having a lot of my concussion symptoms rev up. I already know where it's coming from. We started some new stuff, and so it literally has been kicking my ass. But I'm talking about too on some other stuff, like just mentally feeling down. Mentally feeling down from my concussion, like literally mentally feeling down from life. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm where I'm supposed to be at this point right now, right here. Like, if I wasn't, then I wouldn't be here. So, like, literally, I be having to talk my way through that, and just realize, like, these are moments, and I'm growing through these moments. These are shifts, and I can get through these shifts and these moments, and I don't have to be doom and gloom about it. But if that's where I'm at, I need to honor that and be honest with it. If I'm sad, I'm sad. If I'm happy, I'm happy. If I'm scared, I'm scared. If I'm angry, I'm angry. If I don't understand, I don't understand. That's a big one. That is a big one. I really want to share this one. I might have to make this a short, but I literally lived my whole life having to pretend to know, which made it awesome shit where like I know how to do this shit, but I don't understand why I'm doing this shit or how I do this shit. Like I'm doing it, and it kind of goes with that fake it till you make it. And yeah, surely you can make it till you make it, but you got to make sure you go back and make sure you know the inners and outers of it, or you will have voids. You will feel empty inside, as far as a purpose or being consciously aware of stuff. So I truly lived a life of doing some amazing things, but not fully understanding why I was doing it and how I was doing it. For me, other people got their own ways of looking at things. For me, like, I get my inner power from the ultimate source. So like I understand now, like literally, and I think I had pieces of that understanding. I remember days walking around campus and like just feeling like, you know, some days I felt like I couldn't do that shit, and like I started feeling stories and hearing stories internally about how my ancestors walked miles and miles of freedom and, you know, escaped horrendous shit. And so literally that there would give me strength to walk across campus, because I used to park like miles away from my class just so I could have free parking. And so like that would give me strength. Like, if my ancestors could do it, that's an internal power. My ancestors could do it, I could do it. So they had to do it with less. You know, they had to do it under more duress. So like I definitely know I can do this. So it's just like really putting on that inner power that resides within you. And I'm thankful and I'm grateful for everything and all things that came before me, and everything and all things that'll come after me. So a lot of my knowing and understanding doesn't just come from my own lived experiences. I inherited, just like I inherited a deficit in certain areas, I inherited wealth as well. So not only do I have my lived experience, I also hold the genetic coding for all other lived experiences. And I'm learning. I feel like when I first woke up in these last 2 years, like I woke up to so much power within myself being turned on. And because so much power was being turned on and within me that I denied for so many years, or it wasn't my time to inherit that power. And I guess, like, you know, God, my ancestors felt like, you know, it's time. Well, I felt like it's not. It's time. It's your time. Shit, year 33. It's your time. So, like, literally, all that shit came on, activated at the same time, where I'm trying to release trauma. It was just so much going on at one time. And I just thank God for giving me the resilience to be able to handle everything that came with every decision I made. And then my favorite part, which is balancing out. So you're activated, and then you're trying to learn how to regulate yourself. And for me, I did not have the human support that some may have in those scenarios, but I definitely had the spiritual support, which literally works within and without. So literally, there were so many nuggets and clues and aid that was being provided that I'm so grateful for, that I can see now in hindsight. When you're going through that, sometimes you just can't see with it. You're working with what you're working with. And I feel like I understand a lot more. I still don't know everything, but I'm understanding a lot more, mostly just surrounding my own self and how the world around me works, the natural world. And I really thank God for returning to that, like just my natural self, the natural world, my natural thoughts, avoid me from bad. It just means that, you know, I need to work out on some things, work some things out. So I'm grateful that I was honest in my state that I was in. A lot of times when I was going through those situations, like, I really felt like I was feeling the guilt and the shame while doing the things. And I just needed to do, I needed to do those things so I could understand on deeper levels and have a better understanding for my own self. So when you live a life where you are doing what you think everybody else wants you to do or expect you to do, you tend not to do the things that you were meant to do. You were meant to have your experiences. You was meant to have mistakes so that you can learn from them and grow from them. We are all carefully curated and designed so that we have our own unique experiences, and we also are interdependent on each other too. So it's like a network of forces working together. So I don't know the quality of sound for this video because it is very windy, but let's see. But yeah. I don't know, Spirit talking to me. I said, I'm not denying my reality no more. Like, shit, I've experienced enough supernatural shit to believe myself. Believe myself and believe Spirit, believe God. All the tests, the trials, and tribulations that I've been through in these last years, that ain't even accounting for the whole lifetime. Like, these last 2 years, that was a powerful impact and experience. Powerful opportunity to change my life, and I'm thankful that I'm actively doing that. I make plenty of mistakes. I have plenty of setbacks, plenty of hardships, but I also have some good things that happened. A lot of control had to be relinquished because it was false control anyway. You don't have control over shit but yourself. And what we've been taught has been detrimental to us rising up. So literally, we've been taught selfishness, perverted. We've been taught value and worth perverted. We've been taught so many things perverted, and I thank God for giving me the opportunity to break those concepts, those false ideologies, those false idols. All that shit is one and the same. Literally, I thank God for allowing me to break that stuff down, to honor myself and value myself with God, be aligned with God. So, and I'm so thankful and happy that is not always, my alignment with God is not always the ideal alignment that other people think will have for themselves. Like, I'm an individual, even though I'm a part of the collective. And excuse my child, she's singing and she's in her own little world, so it's a lot of sounds. Definitely, I don't know, my sensory issues starting to kick in. I can endure the fire alarm, but when it's too many sounds, that's when it bothers me. But yeah, just rocking and rolling with life. I'm thankful to God for that. Like, just being able to endure and not just take hits, but you know, be able to dodge them too. Sorry, I keep having my conversations with Spirit, and I don't even just say Spirit with God, but surely spirits do come to visit. And I feel like it's supposed to be like that with all of us, but you definitely have to balance yourself out and have value and worth, and be very selective on what you want to communicate with and what you want out in your vessel. That was one of the reasons I wanted to come and do this video too. I think I will break this video up in pieces, just so like it would be separate content, because I was talking about something else, and now I wanted to talk about my experience with so my experience with fasting from social media. I never did a video to come and recap about that. I can never give you the full experience. It's something you would have to experience for yourself, and your experience will be different from mine. So literally, and some of us can relate to each other and some of us can't, and that's just how that shit go. But for me, not only was I dealing with social media, I think a big part of my issue was an addiction to a certain source. So like literally, yes, I'm speaking to Nicole, but literally there was a particular page that I used to like to wake up to, go to sleep to, should check on throughout the day. Just like I pray to God, I used to like to go look at that particular page and that particular person's content. So literally, I was dealing with that. more than I was dealing with the actual addiction to social media. However, I will say this. One of the things that I realized while I was fasting from social media was I had a fucking harder time with fasting from social media than I did with fasting from food for 7 days. Girl, you are really loud. I'm in the car. I'm doing a video. Can we respect each other? Like I'm just saying, take it down a couple of notches. You can sing and I can do the video. We can share space. Anywho, so I'm telling you, these sounds just turn me up. Not you, it's just like you're singing, it's tractor trailers, it's cars, it's the wind, it's just a lot of shit. It's just accessory overload. Got pay attention to the road, and then I'm thinking at the same time. So literally, so much. I was just thinking about that, like, oh, it's so hard that they can do it at the same time. It shouldn't be, it should be natural. But I felt like one of the things I realized was I am eating social media first thing in the morning when I wake up. I am eating social media when I get bored and I don't know what to do with myself. I am eating social media. I am eating social media. I am consuming social media. And I don't think we really look at it that way. I was able to fast from food because I don't really have that great a relationship with food to begin with. When I first wake up in the morning, my first thought is not to eat actual physical food or fuel for my body. I have replaced social media as a fuel for my body, and we're not looking at stuff like that. That was definitely addiction for me. So I realized that during that fast that we gotta get this together. And I'm still in the process of working out how to balance that, decoding and shifting it so that it could be utilized to my best benefit since it is here. And I am being called to utilize it, but how can I utilize it for my best benefit? And so I've now realized that social media is work for me. And no matter whether I get paid to do it or not right now, I am planting seeds and building a platform for myself and all others who resonate with me. And so I am literally looking at social media now as work. I'm looking at my content creation as work. I was at first, but this is on a deeper level. So that same workaholic, that same addictive behavior that I had in my workplaces, I've noticed I have it with my own responsibilities and work that I'm doing when I write, when I make a video. Like I have that same workaholic issue that I gotta work through. And so I have noticed so many things during this fast and this experience, and I want to just bring balance in my life in all realms. So that was one. But I definitely realized that, like, yes, I needed food during the fast, but I felt like spiritually, it hurt more fasting from social media than it did food. Granted, I did do a social media fast for over a month. So maybe if I would have did a food fast for over a month, it might have been hard. But I just found it more challenging, period. And it made me realize that I am over consuming social media. I have not, since I've been back on social media, been doing scrolling for more than 10, 15, 30 minutes. I don't try to go on there to scroll. I do not try to go on there to be up to date on what's happening in this world. That typically tends to find me any the fuck way. So whether I want to or not, what's happening in the world will find me. That needs to. So yeah, that was a big one though. Like I realized, like, oh, bitch, you just ate social media for breakfast. Oh, you just started your day with social media, and it's just so much influence, and you don't realize how much you're being influenced. Like that was another beautiful aspect of not being on social media. The social media that heavily influences me. One of the things was I got to really do art from simply my heart and not just being triggered. A lot of my art that was created from when I first woke up, a lot of it, not all of it, but a lot of it was created from being triggered. Well, the more you heal, the less you become triggered. And then if that's the way you found your inspiration, then you literally are going to start to feel like you ain't got shit that you can create. So, but the creation isn't based on the outside stimuli all the time. Like, we literally hold purpose within ourselves. Ew. All that fucking exhaust. Put your ass on. Just shooting exhaust out. What's he doing? I don't know, but he just shooting exhaust out. It's like, don't nobody want to be next to that shit. Look, you need to get that shit off the road. I gotta breathe that shit in. The earth gotta breathe that shit in. Nobody with that shit. Take that. Take that bitch to the shop. You need a ticket. Gross. Anyway, I'm sorry. This car disgusted the shit out of me.
I thought.
Triggered.
I thought.
Oh, give me the ticket.
Why you gonna report people?
I'm not doing that for but like shit. Life can catch up with it later. He do that around the police and they don't want to smell that fucking smog just polluting the earth. I know it's illegal. Look, Karen, I know you know the law.
That's telling the truth.
It is the truth.
You like them to get a slow burn of an accident.
Shit, that could have caused a motherfucking accident. And it's a tractor trailer. That shit be scaring the fuck out of me. I hate driving around fucking stupid people.
But yeah, you like them to come to them slowly. I'd rather, while I see it, just record it than just sitting here.
I mean, you can't get phone work. What you gonna do? Call 911 and...
I ain't got his license, but I can't cut it now.
Yeah, because I don't either. So I was gonna let life catch up to him, or let somebody else that's like you, because that's not who I am, and I ain't gonna force it to be me. And that's not wrong for you to feel that way. So I need to stop calling you a Karen, because you're literally a person who literally are gonna make change, because you saying, hey, look, this shit wrong, I'm gonna call your ass out.
His muffler's gonna qualify, so he might be doing that.
I was wondering whether he was doing that shit on purpose too, but then when he got exactly, his muffler is on the side, and I was thinking his muffler was modified too, and I was wondering if he was doing it on purpose too. But there was no reason for him to do it on purpose when he got up there. I thought he could have been doing it on purpose because he wanted to get over, but he was in a faster lane, and neither one of us could go anywhere. So I just think his car is sick, and he needs to get her checked out. Anywho, yeah, so I apologize, Charlotte. That's not being a Karen, right? That's literally caring. Not being a Karen, but you're caring. So you gotta handle it the way you handle it, and I gotta handle it the way that I handle it, okay? That shit, I don't know. Anyway, so from social media, that shit, I'm just really nauseous right now. I definitely think it's a sensory overload, and I do think his smoke didn't help one fucking bit. But sensory overload just kind of messed up my train of thought, but I know I was talking about consuming social media. Also being under the influence of other people and just social media period, and so having the moments of being to myself and having minimal influences externally, because the person that I do look at and consume each fucking day, was looking at and consuming each day, literally, I feel like I could get that same shit within me, because there's a connection, and I don't have to look for it externally. And it reminded me while I was having this experience that I look too much outside of myself for validation and confirmation and affirmation of what I'm actually being told, what I'm actually being shown. And I really do feel like there was a solidification of being myself from taking that fast from social media. So literally, I was able to create from an uninfluenced state externally, and I was able to go within. I'm just trying to make sure that I have not missed my time, because a lot of things, I just feel like a lot of things just happen, and I don't know what my focus is, but that's not my time. And maybe my time is coming up. So yeah, I'm sorry this is all chopped and screwed, but I literally have been having a hard time since we have changed days at my physical therapy. It has been about a week or two. I can't remember for sure, but like about a week or two. I think it was 2 weeks. And I have been off balance in certain areas, so and I'm good. I did not miss my turn, thank you guys. So, literally, just going back to stating that, like, whatever is trusting myself and trusting what I'm creating from internal, and not looking for that validation within someone else or outside of myself. So, because what I bring to the table, we can have creators all across the board talking about the same topic and the same subject, or creating a visual, or creating in any kind of aspect, period. And what I will bring to the table is going to be unique as long as I create it from me internally. But the moment that I get too much outside influence is the moment that I start to skew my own art, my own creation, my own vision. And so that was a great opportunity to sit with self and not be so easily influenced. One thing I do want to say is, one thing I realized while not being influenced by social media was that I wanted to be able to be on social media like I am in this world, and not be so easily influenced by things that are not meant for me. So not only was it good to take a step back, it was also good to go forward and realize that no matter what the fuck I partake in, nothing should be able to influence me, move me, control me, period. And I think I've been going through this the whole lifetime, just learning how to be myself. That's the journey. That's the journey. Are you going to remain lost? Are you going to remain stuck? Are you going to remain stagnant? Or are you going to be yourself? Are you going to be solidified in yourself? And when I say solidified, I mean solidification with flexible permanency. I'm going to be permanently me, but I do have to be flexible and fluid enough to evolve and expand with time and nature as it evolves it was a beautiful experience to be on social media. It was a beautiful experience to create art of my own. And now when I say of my own, I feel like we're sharing experiences, right? And we're sharing visions, but only we can bring the perspective that we have to the table. And so it's just beautiful to see, from my 7-day fast to my social media fast, the stuff that I was able to create. I was able to finish up a portrait. So I have the piece that I'm working on actually has, let me see, that's 6. So it actually has 7 pieces to it. And so it is a series of portraits that is literally a whole. It's just that they are in their fractal pieces, stages of development, and it has been a beautiful piece to visualize. This piece was inspired by, there's a pastor, her name is Pastor Bridget, I can't remember her last name, but she has a program called Her Story, and it is for women to share their stories and their testimonies. And so I was thinking about being a part of that, but I feel like I align with it, but I also feel like a part of me, I feel like I still align with it. I think just in the space that I was in originally, I wasn't ready for that opportunity. However, I don't even know if the opportunity is still on the table. It could be something I could check back into. But it was presented to me to go check her out, and I did, and I connected with her. And she was saying that like there's a program, and basically she gets the women to participate in there to literally create some type of visual to go with their story. And so when she said that, I immediately had this vision, and I kept saying I was going to wait for the opportunity to bring the vision to fruition. And I just have grown so much that like I feel like doing it like that is performance based, because what ends up happening for me is that like literally, okay, I'm doing this for this opportunity. I'm not doing it for myself. I'm not doing it embodied as myself. And so it was actually great that I got to do this. It becomes performance based when I'm doing it because this is your stipulations. But once she said it triggered a beautiful vision in my head, and I saw what I'm creating now, not in its fullness, but I saw parts of it. And so it's been a beautiful experience to bring that to life, and to do it for myself, not to do it for others solely to see and experience, but I'm doing this for others. But I'm also just my main focus is how am I satisfied with this piece. And I did not get to live a life where I really cared about my satisfaction with it. It was just like, okay, it met the marks that they asked for. And I'm gonna put a little razzle dazzle on this, but I never really looked at doing projects, doing writings, doing anything, even when it came to job titles and job responsibilities. I never thought about it as embodying myself and doing it to my satisfaction. I always looked at it, what is the supervisor gonna think, what is this teacher gonna think, what is my mama gonna think, like, and this piece is really about what I think about it. Now, whatever it does for someone else, I'm so happy. What you see, what it does for you, what it means to you, I feel like that's the beauty of art, is that I, the artist, can have one vision in my head and multiple visions in my head, and the audience or viewer can see it, and it can mean something completely, totally different for them, whether good or bad. So I really love that about art, and I love that about creation and respecting each other's point of views and perspectives. But what I'm embodying now in this life, and I'm so grateful and thankful for it, is I get to create to my satisfaction, which I've broken this down in other videos. Perfection simply means to complete something to your satisfaction. To say that it's complete, it is whole, it is done. Perfection did not become the ideology of, which I call it false ideology, of being flawless until about, I want to say, the late 1600s. So if I'm remembering correctly, but you can literally take the $1,000 phone and Google it for yourself to fact check when flawlessness came into the play. In the whole ideology of flawlessness, as white people have taught us, it doesn't exist. Everything is ever evolving, and so what is done and complete here in this phase is done and complete. Surely things can evolve. It was done and complete and great for that moment, and then it can evolve and grow. I feel like when you have perfection taught to us by Western standards, literally, you begin to get cancer. You begin to not allow for growth and change. It becomes stagnant water because you're already saying it's done, it's flawless in that sense. Like, there is nothing else that can come from it. And when we chase perfection in that sense, in that ideology, like, that's where we lose ourselves, because that's not how this planet was designed, that's not how we were designed. So yeah, some things are fixed, and that's that. And then some things, it's like the way Western ideology teaches us, there's not room for multiple things to coexist, and that's sad and mundane, and it does not align with the multidimensionalness of life and how we exist. And so when I'm doing my art, I'm doing it in satisfaction for who I am in this time, in this moment, and I'm not creating anymore based on what someone else will deem good or beautiful or done or awesome or amazing. I'm starting to visualize and see just how amazing and great my work is, how it is, even with the grammatical issues, even with paint mistakes. Even that has been the most beautiful part of painting, is that painting is so forgiving. And that's why I be showing my process in painting, because I would start out this way. First, I start with my drawing, and my drawing can be light as fuck. It could be a heavy drawing or it could be a light drawing. And one of the things too was I had during this last painting is the theme was being lost. And so the theme was being lost, and baby, when I was painting that piece, like, I just remember like feeling lost and painting it, like not lost because I was never gonna find it, but it was a sense of unknown. And so like I only could see certain pieces and elements, and I knew that that's what I needed there. But like a lot of it was like, well, what am I gonna put here? What am I gonna put here? And it's like I don't see it yet, God. Like I know it's gonna go there, but like I don't see it, and it's a testament to life. That's a testament to life. We can have certain pieces and places and parts, and we might not have it all together, but eventually it will materialize and manifest. All you must do is keep going, and that's what I had to do with that painting, was keep going. I saw it one way, and then I was inspired by a Bansky piece, and that grew legs, and I got to make it into my own little hood rendition. And I don't know, it was a dope piece to work on. But yeah, I love showing my process, because painting is so forgiving, and such is life. Such is life. So you make a mistake, you literally, you know that mistake is there as a painter, but you definitely can cover it up. But I think that's a testament to being honest and truthful with yourself, that this is how I started, and this is where we ended, and then we began a new piece. And so literally, while still honoring and valuing what we have created. I think that was another thing too, was when you are a mass producer in your field of expertise or what you love to do, you create so much. And for me, I value all my pieces and love all my pieces, but I think that a part of this is when I get to go back and look at my pieces and have the same or even a better admiration for it. And I'm about to go over here and shake my brain up, so I'll check back in with y'all when I finish, but I'll probably be tired and want to go home and go to sleep.